Good evening, everyone. Asna ma'am, shall we start this session today? Asna ma'am, can you hear me? So I would like to ask to the students, like, if you can hear me, shall we start the session?
Yes, sir, you can start the session. It is audible.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So good evening, everyone. My name is Azam Ansari. I'm going to teach you environment and ecology. And this is the second class of environment and ecology. In the previous session, we had actually started with the biodiversity chapter. In today's class, uh, I believe most of you are new student, so we'll see first the strategy. We'll formulate our strategy. We'll formulate our framework on how to study this subject, and then we'll proceed ahead with the small topic. So, with respect to the environment and ecology, yes, with respect to this environment and ecology, first of all, understanding of the syllabus is very, very important. This should, I would request the student that you should have a pen and paper in your hand, so that whatever analysis that we are doing over here, should be noted down, and this would be very, very important because that is what you are getting recruited for a better planning and decision making. So it's important that before starting any of the project or any of the government schemes, you should have a good analysis of their scheme. Then only you will be able to formulate a plan, and then a decision making would be easy. Yes, I would like to ask a student if their mic is unmute, then please put it. Or, okay, please, I would request every student to please mute your mic. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द एनवायरनमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी, हमारा जो सबसे पहले तो यूपीएससी का सिलेबस देखना चाहिए. ठीक है. So in UPSC syllabus, this environment and ecology is mentioned in GS paper 3. ठीक है, मेंस में जो है GS paper 3 में दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, we all know there are four general studies: GS 1, 2, 3, 4, essay, optional, English and other regional language. So यहाँ पे GS3 में आपका दिया हुआ है. GS3 में बेसिकली 220 क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, 250 मार्क्स का होता है, और ये 3 आवर्स का पेपर होगा. दिस इज अ सब्जेक्टिव पेपर. ठीक है, थ्योरेटिकल पेपर. So over here, out of this entire GS syllabus that is being mentioned, GS3 में, ठीक है, the red color highlighted one is the only one line syllabus given by UPSC for environment. तो देखो यहाँ पे भाई डिटेल में दिया हुआ नहीं है. It says the conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment. So basically, this initial few lines is talking about this initial few line till here, till this point. It talks about economy. Okay, rest of this 2-3 line is talking about the science and technology. This one line is talking about environment. This one line, disaster and disaster management, is talking about disaster, and rest of the other is talking about the internal security. So basically GS paper 3 have got a couple of subjects within it. ठीक है, कुल मिला के 20 क्वेश्चन इन सभी को मिला के आएंगे. ठीक है, इनिशियल जो टॉप आप 8-10 लाइन देख रहे हो, दैट इज ऑफ this economics, and it has got really relatively 50% weightage in your GS paper 3. तो 20 में से 10 क्वेश्चन तो आपके इकोनॉमिक्स के हो जाएंगे. ठीक है, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटिवली 4 to 5 क्वेश्चन, then disaster management 1 to 2 question, then conservation of environment basically 2 to 3 question over here, and last 3 to 4 question is of the internal security. ठीक है, तो ये वन लाइन में एक्चुअली समझ में आता नहीं है. ठीक है, वन लाइन कंजर्वेशन, एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन, डिग्रेडेशन, एनवायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट, उसमें कितने डिटेल में करना है यहाँ पे यूपीएससी जो है मेंशन किया हुआ नहीं है. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट व्हाट दे डू इज दे लैंड अप डूइंग एवरीथिंग और नथिंग. ठीक है, बिकॉज इट इज क्वाइट मिसलीडिंग. सिलेबस जो है उतना डिटेल में बताया नहीं गया है. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट प्रीलिम्स सिलेबस, प्रीलिम्स जो है एज यू ऑल नो मीन्स के पहले होता है तो 100 मार्क्स 100 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, 200 मार्क्स का होता है, 2 आवर्स आपको मिलता है यहाँ पे. सो दिस इज ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन होंगे यहाँ पे. एवरी क्वेश्चन विल बी ऑफ 2 मार्क्स. यहाँ पे जो है 220 क्वेश्चन है और 250 मार्क्स का है. तो देर आर 10 क्वेश्चन, रिलेटिवली फ्यू क्वेश्चन ऑफ 10 मार्क्स एंड फ्यू क्वेश्चन ऑफ 15 मार्क्स. ठीक है, कुल मिला के 20 क्वेश्चन 250 के होते हैं. तो सारा क्वेश्चन जो है सेम मार्क्स का नहीं होता है. फिर 2015 वैसा होता था, 2016 के मार्क्स का जो वेटेज है वो कम ज़्यादा कर दिया, 10 मार्क या 15 मार्क का. ठीक है, उसके पहले स्टैंडर्ड 12.5 मार्क्स का होता था. ठीक है, 10 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है तो वहाँ पे आपको 150 वर्ड्स में लिखना है, और 15 मार्क्स का है तो 250 वर्ड्स में लिखना है. वेर इज इन द केस विद प्रीलिम मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन होंगे. ठीक है, तो ये पूरा एंटायर आपके प्रीलिम्स का सिलेबस है. यस, पूरा प्रीलिम्स का सिलेबस बस इतने ही 6-7 लाइन में दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट लाइन टॉक्स अबाउट द करंट अफेयर, सेकंड लाइन टॉक्स अबाउट इंडियन हिस्ट्री, द थर्ड लाइन टॉक्स अबाउट ज्योग्राफी, द फोर्थ line talks about politics, fifth one economics, and over here the sixth one that is our concern is the environment and the ecology, and last जो line है वो साइंस के ऊपर है. तो देखा जाए वन लाइन अगेन आई एम स्ट्रेसिंग ओवर हियर कि यहाँ पे फिर से सिलेबस डिटेल में नहीं दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, just few important word is being mentioned. It says general issues on environment and ecology. तो इस वर्ड को थोड़ा आप हाईलाइट कीजिए. ठीक है, issues. ठीक है, it is talking about issues के ऊपर स्ट्रेस किया हुआ है. On environmental ecology, biodiversity, climate change that do not require subject specialization. तो यहाँ पे स्पेसिफाई कर दिया है कि भाई आपको एक्सपर्ट नहीं होना है. ठीक है, in the previous line if you see, ठीक है, यहाँ पे if you can see pollution and degradation. ठीक है, environment का pollution and degradation और environment का conservation. ठीक है, so what are the causes of the pollution? ठीक है, what is the factor that is responsible for the degradation? What are the environmental impact assessment, यानी कि खराब हो गया है, नुकसान हो गया तो कितने हद तक हो गया, उसको कैसे जो है कंजर्व किया जा सकता है. ठीक है, सो मोस्टली इट इज रिलेटेड टू इश्यूज इन द एनवायरनमेंट. ठीक है, वन लाइन में अगर बोलो तो इश्यूज इन द एनवायरनमेंट ओवरऑल. बट यहाँ से तो दुनिया भर का एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज है, तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा? तो एक GS3 से एक लाइन हम लोग ने डिराइव किया, कंजर्वेशन, एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन, डिग्रेडेशन, एनवायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट. ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स में फिर से एक लाइन हम लोग को समझ में आया कि जनरल इश्यूज एंड एनवायरमेंटल इकोलॉजी, बायोडाइवर्सिटी, क्लाइमेट चेंज दैट डू नॉट रिक्वायर सब्जेक्ट स्पेशलाइजेशन. ठीक है, सो दिस इज अ सिलेबस गिवन बाय यूपीएससी. इसमें से शायद आप बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट को कंफ्यूजन रहेगा कि कितना पढ़ना है भाई अभी इसके अंदर. ठीक है, अब देखा जाए तो now over here if we see UPSC have given one liner syllabus and that is quite misleading for the student. So what should we do in order to formulate our strategy and to formulate our framework? We should see previous year's question paper. Okay, we should see previous year's 20 years question paper. 20 years. See, if way back in your boards exam, 10th standard, 12th standard, you might have referred a few previous years question paper, just 4 or 5 years. But for UPSC, it is advisable that if you refer last 20 years question paper of prelims and at least 7 to 8 years question paper of mains, 7 to 8 years question paper of mains, because uh, in 2013 UPSC changed its syllabus drastically. Okay, earlier prior to 2013 there was two optional, after 2013 only one optional, then before 2013 two general studies in mains, after 2013 four general studies in mains. Okay, so this was a big change. So from 2013 till present year question paper, if you are able to solve, that would be really good. So let us try to see the question papers, what type of question it UPSC have asked, so that we can uh, we will be in the better position to come across with uh, formulating our strategy. So let us see the question paper. First we'll see prelims question paper, then we'll see the mains one. So with respect to the prelims question paper over here, everyone, now these are the topics or the subtopic that we have derived. Okay, on the basis of previous year's question paper. So the very first topic in the environment is ecosystem. One of the most basic topic of the entire environment and ecology. In that ecosystem, there are various subtopics now. That is evolution of life, You see the red marked one, highlighted one. Ecosystem, ecotone, ecological niche. So these are some important words, keywords, and UPSC have asked question on important keywords also. For example, if you see question number 34, it is asking for what is the meaning of the term ecosystem. If you see question number 48, what is the ecological niche? Okay, so basically basics questions are there. Then further the components of ecosystem, then photosynthesis and pollination. Okay, then functions of the ecosystem, then the threats to the ecosystem, so on and so forth. So there are various other topics like food chain, food web, food pyramid, ecological succession, and nutrient cycle. Nutrient cycle, for example, water cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, carbon cycle. So we have studied, some part of this way back in our school days. But in school days, we studied from student point of view. Over here, you are supposed to study from bureaucrat point of view. Okay, you have to study like a bureaucrat. We have to treat every topic as an issue because in order to solve this issue will be regulated. So you should have a bureaucratic bent of mind while studying every issue. The second topic talks about biodiversity, uh, which talks about the basics of the biodiversity, the new species of the plants and animals. See, for example, recently one very important animal, uh, the new species of frog is being discovered. Then new species of snake is being discovered in the Meghalaya region. So such questions are quite predictable. Not only new species, but even the old species can be asked in the exam if it is repeatedly in the news. For example, if you can see question number 65, it says recently for the first time in our country, which of the following state had declared a particular butterfly as the state butterfly? There was a question on butterfly. In the same year, there was a question on camel, Rai camel. Okay, recently, that is in 2019, there was a question related to lion. So it's good number of question is here. Okay. Question number 62, if you can see, Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. Okay. Then double hump camel, one horned rhinoceros. So basically, the question is revolving around known, famous, okay, and very very important species. Okay. So it doesn't talk about very minute, microbiology wala, things are not required over here. Okay. So those species which have been newly discovered, or those species which are frequently in the news, we from conservation point of view. Okay. So such questions will definitely come. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open while studying the newspaper. Next is this union, International Union for the Conservation of Nature. It is responsible for protection of the environment. So it is an international union basically. In this implement, Indian government have formulated a Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So this is a very old act, but still you're supposed to refer it. Uh, 2 3 questions have been asked from here as well. So
Ano i-bawal?
now I request. I think some student have unmuted the mic, so please mute it. So let us proceed further. Further topics like the biodiversity hotspot or the Ramsar Convention, or the protected areas like national park, wildlife sanctuary. So if you are from Mumbai, you must have definitely visited the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So what is a national park? What is the significance of a national park? Then who declared a national park? Okay. So similar question, and also which national park is located in which state? So match the column type of question. So over here, if you can see this question, uh, question number 65. So question number 65 talks about national park or the century, and in front of that, the state is given. You just need to match the column. Similarly, if you can see question number 107, a similar question. Okay, so you need to memorize them. Now, the problem is there are close to 700 national park, wildlife sanctuary, bioreserve, tiger reserves. So these are different, the notation given to the forest area. Who declares what? Why are they differently classified? We are going to study that, and in which state they are located. That is also important. But 700 is a big list. Okay, 700 किसी से याद नहीं होगा. So in order to memorize them, we have a definite strategy for that, and a guaranteed 1 to 2 question will come from this region. Okay, so a good number of question from this area. If we see the other topics, the next topic is the pollution. And in the pollution chapter, you must have studied this way back in your school days, and you must have been hearing this in the news also. For example, recently, climate change is quite in the news, global warming in the news. So that is a consequences of air pollution. So you must have heard about uh, ozone hole. You must have heard about acid rain. Okay, so all of these are responsible for uh, yes, all of these are responsible for the air pollution, and this air pollution is responsible for climate change. Uh, Student, someone's mic is on, so I request that student to please put your mic off because there is some background disturbance going on. Someone's mic is on. Please check it if it is yours. Please, I request the student to please put it off. Thank you. Chalo, we'll proceed ahead now. So pollution is very, very important. We have been hearing this since our school days. So land pollution, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution. There are further things like solid waste. You must have heard about plastic pollution. Plastic is getting, occupying every space of this earth, be it atmosphere, be it soil or underground or in the water, ocean. So recently, since last couple of years, states, different states of India is putting ban on the plastic. So there will be definitely some problem that plastic is causing. Yes or no? And UPSC will definitely ask question on the issues. Definitely, the issues area is the favorite area of UPSC. So plastic was there, and you can see 2000 question number 70. Question number 70 says, no, what are microbeads? Okay, this was 2009. That is just last year's question had come. Similarly, e-waste, electronic waste. India is becoming a major hub of the electronic waste in the world. Okay, so what are the different types of electronic waste? Those were there. Water pollution, then air pollution. Okay, but what is not known is in what depth should we study there. So that is where we will play our role. So you don't need to worry. Whatever we will teach you would be very much aligned to the UPSC preparation. After teaching you every topic, we will ask you questions. If we will help you to solve previous 20 years question paper in the class itself. Okay, that will give you confidence that whatever you have studied is in the line of UPSC pattern. You are able to solve the UPSC prelims question. At the same time, we will give you mains question so that you write the answers and you give it to us. We will correct it. We will put comment on that, and we will help you to how to have a framework of mains answer writing. So these two important things. Teaching is one part. What is more important is to be able to solve the answers. Okay, because UPSC exam is not about your intellectual or your knowledge. It is more about your presence of mind and your logic. So, and that can be developed with the help of practice. Okay? Practicing of first UPSC question, and second is mock questions, giving mock test, joining a test series. That will be really, really helpful. So the climate change is such a vast topic, though it is a part of air pollution or the impact of the consequences of the air pollution, but this is very, very important. So we have categorized this into an altogether different topics. Change. So to all those students who have attended my previous session, I would request you to hold on for a couple of minutes. Something more important is coming up. So this is for those students who are who are joining me for the first time today. If there are some students who have attended my previous session, just hold for a couple of minutes. I'm going to teach something new today as well. So climate change may all everything every conventions or the international organization that is related to or protocol that is related to that of the protection of the air pollution or the change in the climate. So it is a very favorite area of UPSC, climate change. In fact, every year economic survey is also presenting one chapter on climate change and sustainable development. तो इंडिया का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रिपोर्ट है दैट रिपोर्ट इज इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया ओके इट इज प्रेजेंटेड एवरी ईयर and that covers one important chapter, climate change. So Indian government is presenting one chapter every year, and India is playing a very important role in mitigation of climate change. Tomorrow if you become a bureaucrat, you might get a chance to represent India at international level in different conventions, in different seminar, in different meetings, different conference of the world. So you should have a thorough understanding of what is climate, what is climate change, what are the impact of the climate change, and how you can prevent the country, the world over from this problem. If you are living in a coastal area, if anyone is living in a coastal area, let us take for example Mumbai. So it is believed that Mumbai is going to get submerged by 2050. So since last couple of months, this is coming in the news again and again. Why? Because climate is changing, global warming is taking place, glaciers are melting, the sea level is rising, and coastal area of India will get flooded. So coastal cities Mumbai, Ratnagiri, Goa, they have a very high chance of being submerged in 2 to 3 decades. Okay, so you should be knowing what are the reason and how you can prevent. Yes, Shashi have asked me about when will you give questions for practicing. See, prelims question, all the prelims question would be practiced in the classroom itself. Then mains question we will give you for writing. And apart from that, more of prelims question should be solved. That will be that is uploaded on our portal. Okay, so every student will get the access. Our registered student will get the access to that portal. Even the non-registered students, other students as well, so they can go to our portal and they can take mock questions for practice. We have someone's mic is on. Someone's mic is on. Please put it off. Please put it up. Thank you. So so that question is thousands of questions are available on our website, and they are really wonderful questions. Difficult UPSC standard questions. Okay, so I can give you few example of what type of questions we have. Just give me 1 minute for that. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So the last topic is the programs, protocol, conventions. See, so uh, the country which is creating the pollution will being suffered. Even those country which is not creating pollution is get suffered. For example, let us say small countries like Nepal, okay, or so they are also vulnerable to the change of the climate, though they themselves are not responsible for any of the climate change. So world over, there should be some organization or level of conventions or protocol which every country should bring, so they mitigate this problem together. So the very first in the 1991, a major convention was held in the Brazil, in the city called Rio, and from there the convention got the name, or the summit got the name Rio Summit or the Earth Summit. So likewise, in different parts, different cities of the world, different conventions are being held, and on the basis of the name of the city, the convention is being named. For example, Montreal Protocol or Montreal Convention. Okay, so Rotterdam Convention. These are name of the cities also, and these are the convention related to environment. Okay, so I can see some student asking for. Okay, okay. So is my voice clear now? Student, is my voice clear? Just please. Uh, is my voice clear now? Hello, student. Is my voice clear? Okay, thank you. थैंक यू। चलो तो आगे बढ़ते हैं। सो यहाँ पे जैसे इफ यू कैन सी टू क्वेश्चन 5 ओवर हियर, it says Cartagena Protocol, Nagoya Protocol, Kyoto Protocol. Actually, these are the name of the cities in which respective conventions related to the environment was being held. We are going to study all of them, so you don't need to worry. My assurance is we will train you in such a manner that you will be able to attempt 80 to 90% of the UPSC question in the classroom itself. Okay, so that will give you an edge over many other UPSC aspirants. We should be a tough competitor for all of those 10 lakh people. So you don't have to worry from them; they will be rather worrying from you. Okay, you should uh, others to come. So having understood the prelims questions, okay, we came to know that there are five major areas from where questions are being asked, and there are some minor topics within that. If we see from mains point of view, so from mains point of view, there are good number of questions that is being asked every year. For example, if you can see, if you see pollution, so there are good pollution in general, pollution, specific pollution also. For example, land pollution, e-waste, electronic waste, water pollution, then air pollution. Air pollution is UPSC favorite topic, okay? Because we are easily impacted by the air pollution. Yes or no? We all are prone to air pollution. Everyone, be it adult or children, rich or poor, everyone. Okay, so so rest of the developmental project is also not. So we have only seen we have only seen just give me 1 minute. Let me see the sure message. Uh, Let me know if my voice is clear and audible to all the students. All the student, I request please put your mic mute, because other students are not able to hear, and there is a lot of disturbance going on. Just a small request, please put your mic off. Okay, uh, ठीक है. So hopefully there won't be any problem. ठीक है. So Okay, let us proceed now. Let us come back to our presentation. So having seen previous year's question paper, we can now formulate our further plans. Okay, so on seeing previous 20-year question paper, we realized that there are 5 major topics. One is ecosystem, and we saw different subtopics within this. Next one is the biodiversity and subtopic within that as well. The next is pollution. Yes, land pollution, air pollution, water pollution. The next is climate change. Okay, and finally is the conventions, protocol, programs, and organization. So what we are doing is we are narrowing down our preparation, because if we don't do that, UPSC will be really vast. Okay, and I don't want you to fall in the trap of doing everything inside the under the sun. There are some people who says that you have to study everything under the sun. That is not the reality with the UPSC, else you will go mad only if you study so much. So what is required is formulation of the strategy. For that, what you required is analysis of the syllabus and question paper. So we have seen syllabus as well as question paper. Okay. So from here onwards, we can proceed ahead now. So topic-wise number of question paper questions, if we see with respect to the ecosystem, we see every year question have been asked except in the year 2016. Except in the year 2016, every year question have been asked. Okay. Next, biodiversity, every year question is there, pollution question is there, climate change, a convention and a protocol. So 2019, if you see 2019 itself, there were close to 26 number of questions, and good number of question every year from
एक छोड़ी है हमें एक मैंने दर्दी वापसी
someone's mic is on. Someone's mic is on, sir. I am requesting time and again, please put your mic off. Please put your mic off, everyone. So this creates a lot of disturbance while taking the class. We all are facing a problem. Okay, the entire globe is facing the problem of this lockdown. So, but our study should not stop. Okay, so let us utilize our time very wisely, because next year, if you are attempting and if you start preparation after the lockdown, then you will be losing the edge in the exam. So we are continuing our preparation, and for a UPSC aspirant, let me tell you, you are under a lockdown till the time of your result. Okay, every UPSC aspirant is under lockdown till the time of the result. So lockdown is new for the world and not for the UPSC aspirants. Fair enough. Chalo, let us proceed ahead now. So I will give you this figure later on also. You can have a look at this. Just 1 or 2 years, we see that there were no question from few areas. For example, ecosystem, there was no question in the year 2016, and from the climate change in 2013 there was 0 question, and convention and protocol there was 0 question, and 2019 there was 0 question. As such, every year question have been asked from some of the other topic. Okay, so if we see the year-wise number of the questions with respect to 2013 prelims, if we see the prelims, में 2013 में there were 18 question, 2014 में 26 question out of 100. These figures are out of 100. Out of 100, 18. Out of 100, 26. It decreased for 2-3 years, then it increased again. So 2019 recent one, 23 questions from alone out of 123 questions. So it is a big number. If we see with respect to mains, consistently 3 question every year, and 2 question just last year. So we can have understanding close to 20 question will be there in your prelims, and close to 3 question will be there in your mains. Okay, so we now are in a position wherein we have understood the syllabus, we have understood the questions, subtopics and topics, and we have seen the year-wise breakdown of the number of questions as well. We have seen the number of questions with respect to the topics as well. But environment and ecology, in fact, every subject should not be studied in isolation. It should be studied with relevance to the other subjects as well. For example, over here, the overlapping of the environment with other subjects. When I had taken a demo of science and technology, I had done the same thing, overlapping of science and technology with other subjects. So over here, I'm doing the same thing basically, overlapping of environment subject with other subjects. So if we see general studies paper one, we know na, that in GS paper three environment is there. Okay, fair enough. But in GS paper one also, geography is as a subject, but over there, this part is related to environment directly. Okay, wherein it deals with the impact of the change in the climate with respect to the flora and fauna. The flora and fauna is the plants and animals, okay, and the impact of the climate change on the water bodies and the ice caps. There was a direct question every year. This is very very important question. Every year one question comes in geography, but as such this is more related to environment than actually related to geography, though the syllabus is given in the geography. If we see general studies paper 2, Indian polity, how Indian polity is related to environment. In 2016, there was a question on the fundamental right to clean environment. See, we all know na, that we have a fundamental right in our constitution, and we have a right to life. But we will be living only when we have a clean environment, because clean environment, if the environment is not clean, if it is polluted, uh, it is life threatening, and it will be a violation of your fundamental right to life, which comes under polity. So basically, environment have got some overlapping with the Indian polity also. Polity means right to life. If GS paper 3 environment is already there, in economics also it is there. Economics means climate change. Yes, economics, as I told you, na, every year Indian government releases a report that is known as economic survey, that everyone has to study. Every single aspirant of UPSC will have to study that economic survey report. So climate change is one of the chapter in volume 2. There are two volumes. In volume 2, this climate change chapter is there. We'll be studying that as well. And those students who are giving this year exam, we have actually taught this budget and economic survey of this year. If you're giving exam next year, we will teach you what is the budget, what is the economic survey, so that it is easy for you to study them. And there was two question on essay also, one with respect to climate change, another with respect to the natural law. This is quite related to that of the disaster. Okay. For example, uh, recently as you can see that nature is dominant upon the human beings. Human being can never have a dominance over the nature. For example, this corona virus. Okay, so this is natural, and this is dominating the whole world right now, and we are feeling helpless in the front of the consequences of the nature. Okay, so an essay was who is more dominant, natural law or man-made laws. Man-made law is the law of the land, and natural law is the law of the nature. So the weightage goes more to the natural law. Okay. Now, with respect to the books and the resources. With respect to books and resources, the very first thing that you need to start off with is NCRT. Is over here 6 to 11 standard NCRT is in the geography it is there, and 12 standard NCRT of botany. So what about environment NCRT? Student, there is no environment NCRT. Okay, there is no NCRT which is dedicated only to environment. So we are supposed to study 6 to 11 standard geography. In that, segregated few chapters are there on the environment, but no NCRT is dedicated to environment alone. Then 12 standard science, in the botany section, there are 3 to 4 chapters that we should be covering. So Sashi have asked me a question that, sir, I have finished 12th grade. What UG course can be best for me? Your voice is not clear. Uh, okay, so Sashi, I would take your question towards the end of the session. Okay, I hope that will do. Okay, so Okay, fair enough. Please let me know if my voice is audible and clear, because unless you tell me whether my voice is clear or not, I might not be able to understand. Okay, so okay, keep letting me know if at any point of time voice is unclear or video is breaking. So just let me know. Fair enough. We'll proceed ahead with magazine. This is very, very important magazine, Down to Earth. Okay? This is a magazine dedicated only to environment. It is a very, very thin magazine, and it comes only once in a month. Okay, once in a month, and a very, very thin magazine dedicated only to environment. This is a government magazine actually. Okay. Then there is a channel on the Rajya Sabha TV, Big Picture and Sarukar. So I would suggest you to see selected episodes of Big Picture and Sarukar. They come with beautiful discussions on major environmental issues. For example, recently coronavirus issue they had debated very nicely on what is this coronavirus, how it came, the history of coronavirus, the impact, the future, okay, the vaccines related to that. Similarly, with respect to forest fire, okay, if you are seeing the news, you would have come to know that Uttarakhand, a lot of forest fire is taking place. Last year, Australia, forest fire was there. Prior to that, Amazon forest fire was there. So they had in the Sarukar, this was very beautifully explained. What is forest fire? What are the causes of forest fire? What are the impact of forest fire? And how we can mitigate this forest fire? Okay. So, sir, Abhishek is saying Uttarakhand fire news is fake. See, every year during this summer, uh, when the summer when the summer is very, very intense, so the forest fire becomes very, very common. So last year the forest fire was there in Karnataka. So Abhishek, Mr. Abhishek, I would like to confirm this, that in some parts of India the forest fire is taking place. But since all the news reporters are so busy covering the coronavirus, India and Pakistan, and this creating a debate over Hindu and Muslim, as well as this recent pest attack. Okay, so that very less attention is being paid to this forest fire. Forest fire, Uttarakhand में 2015 में forest fire was there, and last year in various parts of Karnataka the forest fire had taken place. So this year also, because heat is so intense, and one of the common consequences of the very high intense heat is forest fire. Next is India Yearbook. This is again a government book. This comes once in a year. Okay, in that one chapter you have to study environment. Then a very important newspaper, Hindu or Indian Express. I would suggest read only one of them. Okay, don't read both, else you will not end up reading the newspaper throughout the day. Last is the website, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Very important. You can refer this once in a month. Okay, don't see this every day. Just once in a month will be sufficient. So compiling them, NCRT is a government book. This magazine, Down to Earth, government magazine. Rajya Sabha TV, government channel. India Yearbook, government book. Okay, and lastly, this website, Ministry of the Environment, Forest, is again government. Hindu and Indian Express is only the non-governmental resource that I'm telling you. So, my dear student, keep your resources close to the government resources, because UPSC is a national level exam and they prefer their own resources. Okay, this is not a private exam. This is not a CAT exam, okay, wherein you will get admission to MBA college. So, government question papers, this setter, they prefer their own resources, government own channel, own report, own website. Okay, so your preparation should be revolving around their resources only. So don't run behind the private publications, quickly. Okay, you will be going into government service, so you should be willing to read government books and government reports, though they are less interesting, but still you have to refer them. Okay. So having done so much of analysis, let me tell you, you all are now in a better position with respect to UPSC syllabus, question papers, uh, the number of questions that have come every year, and the books or the material that is to be referred. Okay. So over here, 2 minutes of chat session we can take now. All of those students who have their doubts can quickly ask to me, so that from here onwards, whatever doubts we have with respect to preparation, we can take up, and then we can proceed with one small topic. Please put your mic off. Whomsoever mic is on, please put it off. And please ask me your question quickly. 2 minutes time, and then we can take another important topic. Okay, let us proceed ahead. Okay, I got a doubt now. Shashi have asked me a question. Any other books written from other is required for the exam? See, there is one book on the environment, Shankar. Okay, that is a good book. That, but in the recent past, most of the question have been coming from the current affair. So the cost benefit analysis of that book presently is not helpful. So I would suggest instead of reading many other books, read current affairs, read newspaper. Okay. The current affair will be from this magazine every month. Next current affair will be from the Rajya Sabha TV. This is of course a news channel. Okay. Then next current affair, annual current affair will be from this India Yearbook, and on daily basis you'll be reading either Hindu newspaper and Indian Express, and on monthly basis refer this website. Most of this current affair comes with some static portion as well. They will explain you what is that topic about, and then the newspaper will follow up. For NCRT, refer only the new NCRT. Old is outdated now, and UPSC prefers those students who are updated. Okay, updated. So old NCRT was written 20 years ago. Okay, and 10 years ago it was even discarded. So new NCRT is also very old. New NCRT is also 10 years old. Okay, so new NCRTs in any sense is outdated, but still I would suggest refer present new updated NCRT. Okay. Um, the reason for studying the new NCRT is only the basic is to be cleared, and after that just jump to the current affair. Okay, you don't need to do PhD reading the old as well as new. Though old NCRT was good enough, but now it is not so useful. Chalo. So we have done the analysis, we have formulated our strategy, and today's session I will take one small topic. Now this topic I had already started in the previous class. I had already started in the previous class, but for those students who have who have attended my session for the first time today, for them, let me give you a brief idea about what we studied in the previous lecture. So we started with the chapter that is called as the biodiversity, as I told you. So exactly on the line of the UPSC, we are studying our topics. Okay. So there are a couple of students who have doubts regarding how to prepare, how to study, and what subject to take in the graduation. So just towards the end of the session, last 10 minutes of the session will be dedicated for only doubts. You can ask me all the doubts over there. Presently, just give me 10 minutes so that I can teach you a small topic. Then we will proceed ahead with the doubts, how to prepare, what to prepare, what subject to take in your graduation. Okay, what is to be studied during this period of lockdown. Okay, so everything I will help you, don't worry. Okay, so with respect to the basics, this was done in the previous class. So the chapter was biodiversity. Okay, we took one chapter that was biodiversity. As I mentioned in our strategy, that there are 5 basic chapters, or you can call it as a topic. So biodiversity was one of them. In that we studied in the previous class what is biodiversity. Okay, is there still disturbance going on? Because from my side there is no problem. If someone's mic is on, please put it off. So in digital India, the only problem is there is always some problem. Other students, please put your mic off, because students are facing this difficulty consistently. It's a humble request. Please put it off. Please check your mic first of all. If it is on, please put it off. Okay, we need to coordinate. Okay, we need to coordinate, because if you go into bureaucracy tomorrow, even if you become an IAS officer, and if you do not coordinate with your colleagues, your subordinates, you will not be able to implement even a single government scheme or policy. So you need to be a good team member first, then you will become a team leader. Okay, so let us coordinate with each other. Some students have raised their hands. So yes, you can ask me your queries in your chat box. Okay, I will definitely resolve them. Okay. So yes, raise your hand. So let me know anything that you need to ask. Let me ask me in the chat box. So, with respect to the biodiversity, we studied what is biodiversity, what are the different levels of biodiversity, what are the different types of biodiversity, and what are the distribution of biodiversity. So biodiversity we studied that it is a variety, and since we have taught this in previous class, so I'm not going slow over here. I'm going little fast because if the student repeated student are sitting in the class, they should not feel bored. Okay. So what is the biodiversity? Bio means life and diversity means variety. So variety of life. Okay. So it is the differences of life, different types of life. So it is a variety in technical terms. If we see, it is the variety and variations or variability of life on Earth within the species and between two different species. So for example, if you consider that human being is one species. Okay, they differ from each other. Yes or no? For example, I'm different than you. You are different than me. But we both belong to the same species. So within the species, within the same species, we are different. And secondly, if I compare you with a tiger or lion, definitely you will be different from them. Okay, so all of these individuals belong to the same species, but in spite of that, there are some variety in all of them. Then animals, they belong to the different species. Definitely, there will be differences in that also. So diversity is diversity within the species and between two different species or a number of the species. Next was what are the different level of the biodiversity? Levels is the alpha level, beta level, gamma level. So basically, this level is with respect to the degree of differences or the level of differences. So for example, if I consider over here a mango tree, okay, so this, let us consider that this in this circle all are mango tree, so same species. So one mango tree is differing from the another mango tree. They could not be 100% same. But what is the similarity? The similarity is that they belong to same species. So there is some similarity, some differences. Okay. So slight level of differences is there. Slight level of differences. Okay. So that small level of differences or little bit of differences is called as alpha diversity. Now, if I compare this mango tree with, let us say, banyan tree or babul tree or any other tree, okay, so there would be a little more level of differences. So that is called as a beta level diversity. Now, if I compare this entire ecosystem with this ecosystem, for example, the ecosystem that is on the plain area with that of the ecosystem that is on a hilly area. So, for example, if you have ever been to Himachal Pradesh or Jammu and Kashmir, you would have noticed coniferous trees. Coniferous trees, those are relatively long, tall, okay, uh, and slim. They are not very, very broad. So basically, those species altogether is different from those species that is grown on the land. So a very, very high level of differences. So that high level of differences is called as a gamma level diversity. So alpha is basic level diversity, beta is a slightly higher level of diversity, and gamma is the highest level of the diversity. Okay. Next, if we see the types of biodiversity, see there are certain organisms which are spread across vast geographical area. It means they can be found in America also, they can be found in Africa, Europe, India, Australia, China, etc. Okay, so such species which can be seen or which can grow or which can survive in different geographical area also are called as the uh, cosmopolitan diversity. For example, crow, for example, dogs. Endemic diversity. Endemic are those which are limited to a geographical area. It means they are not found everywhere. Okay, they are not found everywhere. They are found in a very limited region. For example, they might be found only in the snow area. They might be found only in the desert area. Okay, or the mountainous area, or only in the water. For example, fish lives only in water. They cannot live on land. They cannot fly in the sky. Yes or no? So those can be called as endemic species. For example, this pygmy hog. This is a small pig, smallest pig in the world, and this is found only in Assam in the world. Okay, so in the world it is found only in Assam. Uh, so this is a very, very critically endangered species. Next is cheetah. Cheetah is in the world is found only in Iran and Africa. So okay, ठीक है. So Vishal says ये सब हो गया है. So those students who are new over here, Okay, so with respect to the altitude distribution of biodiversity, if you see in the mountainous area, which I'll just give me 1 minute, I'm almost about to complete this topic, then we'll take another topic. So with respect to the altitude, Miss Nandini, please put your mic off. Miss Nandini, please put your mic off. Okay. So with respect to altitude का मतलब होता है height. Latitude means the horizontal line that is dividing the earth. So altitude, for example, on the ground level, some different type of species. On the mountainous area, if you go on the top, different type of species. Okay, so ground level per different, intermediate level per different, and the further higher level per different. Latitude, for example, equator pe there would be different type of species. If you go towards the polar region of the earth, for example, north pole or south pole, you will find different types of species. Okay, so if we go from the equator towards the pole side or from the ground level to the mountain higher side, so what happens is differences starts decreasing and similarity starts increasing. That is why this graph is on the declining side. Okay, differences यानी कि diversity differences is there. Diversity का मतलब ही difference होता है, तो difference कम होने लगता है और same तरह के species आपको दिखने लगते हैं. This question we had attempted in previous class. Protection of the biodiversity we had taken up. In that we had taken what is IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. This is an organization that is responsible for protection and conservation of the nature, and they take up different types of the developmental projects all over the world. Okay, and they classify the species into extinct, critically endangered, vulnerable, so on and so forth. You must have heard this word na, somewhere. Yeah, this is an endangered animal, this is a vulnerable or critically endangered animal. So these terminology is given by IUCN and various criteria within that. We did one question, in fact 2 questions on that. Wildlife Protection Act. ठीक है, चलो अब यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं. तो आई बिलीव ये नहीं हुआ था पिछले क्लास में. दिस इज न्यू टू ऑल द स्टूडेंट. So Wildlife Protection Act, this is an Indian act. Okay, Indian act that was formulated way back in the year 1972. ठीक है, IUCN was international union, and Wildlife Protection Act is limited only to India. ठीक है, so whatever law it has formulated will be applicable only within the territory of India, not outside India. Okay, so it consists basically six schedules, or basically you can consider 6 different types of law or 6 different type of classification of animals and plants. तो schedule 1, schedule 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. तो 1 में क्या है, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 consider animals. 1 and 2 consider animals that require absolute protection. Absolute means a very high degree of protection is required. ठीक है, and violators will have maximum penalty. For example, if you kill a lion, ठीक है, तो a lion is given very high level of protection, and if you kill lion, you will have a very high level penalty. Okay, penalty will be over here with respect to money and with respect to jail also. ठीक है, you will be put behind the jail. For example, lion tail macaw. This is a monkey actually, lion tail macaw. Then rhinoceros you must have heard of. Black bug. Yes, this animal became famous because of Salman Khan. Yes, so black bug you must have heard that Salman Khan had killed this animal. Uh, and because of that he was very much in the news, and he had to go to Rajasthan every time for appear in the court. So black bug is given
So
a
please
very
request to mute. It is quite disturbing.
hello, Miss
So,
Charu have requested. Yes, Miss Charu.
so please ask the concerned person to mute. It's quite disturbing.
Is it still disturbing now?
Yes, sir. Someone's mic is still on.
Oh, my dear student, it might be out of a mistake that someone's mic is on. I request again to please put it off, because my attention over here is behind teaching the concept. So if I keep a track of whose mic is on and off, so uh, that would become very difficult. Okay, so I request, let us let us let us cooperate with each other. Please see individually if your mic is on or off, so that other students are not finding problem. Today it is happening quite frequently actually. But, so R Prasad, ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आप लोग सब माइक ऑफ कर दो. बाकी सब स्टूडेंट को डिफिकल्टी हो रही है. इवन आई एम फाइंडिंग इट लिटिल डिफिकल्ट टू कोऑर्डिनेट. ठीक है, someone's mic is still on. Please, आप everyone check it. Please everyone check it and please put it off. Okay, चलो तो let me continue. First of all, I'm sorry to all the students because of this technical problem. You all are facing the difficulty, but we need to coordinate, in this manner only. Consider, for example, in this situation, if you are an IS officer and you are posted in one of the district of Bihar or Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan, where even the basic facilities like electricity is not there. Okay. So after studying so much, struggling so much for your preparation, if you're posted in a district where oftenly electricity goes, and you being an IS officer, there is no electricity in your house. Okay, that is a bungalow, in fact, that is given by the government to the IS officer. So consider, if you don't have electricity in the house, what will you do? You would somehow need to carry on, because that is a problem being faced by many of the people in India. They don't have proper water, no electricity, no food, okay, no proper means of transportation, and that is evident in the present scenario of lockdown. You can see various migrants worker, they are walking on foot back to their home, because wherever they are stuck right now is in the absolute problematic situation. So consider that. You have to consider that you will get selected, and you have to start thinking yourself as an officer. Then only UPSC panel will consider you as an officer material. So if that will not come from within, officer level attitude, then why will anyone consider, why will anyone make you an officer? So you have to first develop that attitude of bureaucracy, and the very first fundamental attitude of this bureaucracy is coordination and cooperation. Okay. So ठीक है, तो आई होप नो मोर डिस्टर्बेंस इज कमिंग. तो चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. वी लॉस्ट आवर ट्रैक. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This is an Indian act that is responsible for conservation of biodiversity. So biodiversity में plants and animal both comes. Okay, they had actually classified the plants and animal into 6 different categories on the basis of degree of protection required. Those animals that require very, very high degree of protection are classified into Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 of Part 2. For example, lion-tail macaw. It is a type of monkey actually. Okay. Towards in the coming session, I will show you the photo of these animals. Okay. Lion-tail, it indicates this somewhat some animal like lion. So it is not a lion. It is a basically a monkey. Then rhinoceros, great Indian bustard, black buck. So black buck. Over here, just one important thing over here. So over here, if we can see black bug, then in the case of the black bug, can you see lion-tail macaw over here? Yes, lion-tail macaw over here. So IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, have classified lion-tailed macaw as endangered species. Okay, it is being considered as an endangered species. And the black bug, it is being considered, as you can see over here, black bug is being considered as a vulnerable species. Okay, so black bug is given little less degree of protection. Okay, critically endangered means they have more degree of protection. Endangered, little less degree of protection. Vulnerable, little less. Further less. Near threatened, very less. Least concern are these animals. But India may, if we see, in India, if we see, black bug is given highest level of protection. So that is the reason why Salman Khan is oftenly in the news for this animal, because it is given highest protection. Highest protection matlab violators will be having maximum penalty. Penalty over here will be in terms of jail as well as with respect to fine, monetary fine. Next is king cobra, flying squirrel, so on and so forth. We can memorize this name of the animal later on. Schedule 3 and 4 consider those animals that require moderate level of protection. It means penalty will also be moderate. For example, hyena, hog deer, nilgai, barking deer. You must have come across barking dogs, but there are deer also, a type of deer which is barking deer. Okay. Next is schedule 5 animals. Schedule 5 animals, again those animals that can be hunted. Okay, so over here you will have Vishal, your mic is on, sir. Vishal sir, your mic is on. Please put it off. Uh, schedule 5. Schedule 5 are those animals which can be hunted, and hunted means there is no penalty for killing them. For example, crow, bats, mice, rats. Okay, you will have no penalty for killing them. Okay. So next is schedule 6. Now schedule 6 is the only schedule where protection is given to plants. Plants are prohibited from cultivation, collection and trade. So basically these are those plants which are little poisonous, those plants which can be used for drugs. Okay, drugs making, or it could be dangerous for cultivation in the domestic area. So, for example, the carnivorous plants. The carnivorous plant is dangerous in the domestic area. So, Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is protection of animals, and Schedule 6 is protection of plants or those plants which cannot be cultivated back at home. They can be related to drugs or can be related to very very exotic species. So over here we did just one topic, that is what is the Wildlife Protection Act. Now quickly, everyone, just 1 minute time and please solve this question. This is a 2017 very recent question, just 2 years ago this question was asked. So please attempt this question and write your answer in the comment section. Yes, please everyone read this question very patiently. This is a UPSC asked question, and then you can write your answer in the comments. Okay, so I have got a good number of answers over here. Okay, good number of students have attempted the answers. See, everyone need to attempt this question. The reason is you all are preparing for UPSC. Okay, this is not a college exam, wherein even if you bypass this, you will clear. So you have to take the lead of attempting the question, even if you have not studied. That is okay. You might attempt a wrong one, but escaping the question is not in the option. So let me help you to analyze what is the right answer. Over here, the question says, in India, if a species of tortoise, okay, if a species of tortoise is declared as protected under Schedule 1. Okay, so Schedule 1, it should quickly come in my mind of the Wildlife Protection Act. Schedule 1 are those animals which is given highest degree of protection. Highest degree of protection. It means if you kill them, you will be under a very, very high penalty. So option number A says it enjoys the same level of protection as that of the tiger. Yes, with respect to a tiger is given a very, very high level of protection, because there are only close to 3,000 tigers in India. 10 years ago there were only 1,400 tigers. Now only 3,000 tigers is present. So this seems to be a correct answer, but let me be assured with that B, C, and D are wrong. Then only I will correct A as right. Option number B says it no longer exists in the wild. Okay, a few individuals are under captive protection. Captive protection means uh, in a laboratory or zoo. Okay, they are not available in the wild. They are not available in forest. They are available only in the laboratories. Okay, laboratory protection is being given, and now it is impossible to prevent its extinction. So it no longer exists in the wild. So where does our Schedule 1 talks anything like that? Schedule 1 talks that animal with highest protection and violator will have maximum penalty. Just one line. इतने में ही हो जाएगा answer. So B option is nowhere close. It no longer exists in the wild. ठीक है? ये this is a 100% wrong statement. ठीक है? It is very, very, of course, very. It is available. It exists in the wild. Schedule 1 animals exist in the wild, but they are few in numbers. Okay, that is the reason why they are given highest level of protection. Because uh, if if they are also being killed, if they are also being killed, then they will be completely extinct. Option number C says it is endemic to a particular region of India. I hope you remember this word endemic. Endemic means they are available to a limited region only. Okay. So Schedule 1 animals, not necessary that they have to be limited to a very small region. Schedule 1 animals are those animals which are few in number and which is given a very high degree of protection, okay, by the government. So C is also a wrong statement. Okay. Since B and C is wrong, so definitely D is also wrong. So I'm now I'm quite sure now that my A should be the correct answer. Okay. So Charu, then some other students also, Nandini and Raj, okay, uh, and Galaxy A Pro. I don't know your name, sir or ma'am. So, okay, Vishal also have given this answer correctly. To rest of the student, don't worry. This was more of logical question. Okay, UPSC will never ask a straightforward question. You have to study, apply your brain, and then attempt the question with limited knowledge. Limited. Underline this word. Yes, Miss Sonia. Okay, you are also right. Okay, chalo. Let us now. We have less time. Uh, so I might not be able to take this new topic, biodiversity hotspot. Very, very important, very important. Because good number of question, 3 question had come from the biodiversity hotspot. Of that, I will take 2 question in the classroom itself. Since this is a demo class, so I'm taking a topic and 1 or 2 question, then a topic, 1 or 2 question. Okay, and I will make you attempt in the class itself, uh, so that if you are right, you will gain confidence. If you are wrong, you will at least understand where you have went wrong. Okay, and apart from these questions that will solve, there are other questions, mock questions. Let me show you what are those mock questions. So over here, everyone, as you can see my screen, on my screen, this is the polity mock. So focus over here. This is a polity mock questions. There are close to 700 to 800 question only on polity. Then there were 700 to 800 questions only on history, and rest every subject we will have close to 800 to 1000 questions on each of the subject that you have in your prelims. With respect to mains, apart from the UPSC, we have a good number of questions with respect to mains also. But mains question should not be static. Mains question is to be prepared every year. Okay, so as prelims gets over, we will have mains question as well. So over here, don't have to attempt the question, just see the question. Question number 74. The question number 74 is on the polity and the topic is amendment. So let us say I'm studying polity and I have studied one chapter of historical background. Okay. So after studying the historical background chapter, all the question related to that chapter, is available over here. So that chapter by chapter, topic by topic, you should be able to attempt the question. Let us say next time I studied preamble as a chapter. Okay, so after having studied preamble chapter, I will go to the preamble mock section and I will attempt my questions over there. Okay, so like this way, what will happen is you will keep gaining confidence in every topic you are studying. Okay, so consider example, this question number 3. So question number 3 is on the preamble, of course, and the answer is given and explanation is also given. So explanation is, for example, statement 1 is wrong. So statement 1 is incorrect. Why? Because this keyword, this was a wrong statement over there. So we have highlighted a wrong statement also. It is important to understand what is wrong, then only you'll be able to understand what is right. Okay. Next, second statement is also wrong, so it is incorrect. Why? Because of so and so reason. Now on this question, if you need additional information, additional material, if you want to study, so you don't have to search anywhere. This additional information is also given after every explanation. Okay, so you take any of the question, we have formulated this question in a very beautiful manner. Question is given, after that answer key is given, and explanation for those statements and additional information behind each question, so that even if you are a first timer student and don't know anything about the particular topic, you will get everything in this additional information. Okay, so similarly, all of these chapters, we have questions from the NCRT level also. So fundamental right, let us say you have studied. So fundamental right is these are there in your NCRT also, and behind NCRT, we have behind NCRT chapter, every chapter you have these questions available, but answers are not there. Okay, in the NCRT, but over here we have provided answers for those questions as well. In fact, this is not being done by any of the classes. Okay, we are the first class in India which we are covering the NCRT chapters and NCRT questions also, because UPSC asks question from NCRT also, directly question from the NCRT. Okay, so we will give you a whole and soul preparation. Okay, so be it related to any subject, any topic, any subtopic. So we have taken our preparation to a very granular level. Okay, so now I think this would be uh, more than sufficient for today's session. If you have any doubts, you can please ask me. Else, we can continue our session in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts, I'm available for 5 minutes. You can ask me your doubts over there. Okay, anyone? GS2 syllabus. Okay, GS2 syllabus is available. You can see over here. Yes, sir, Mr. Vishal, you can see the GS2 syllabus over here. If you can see my screen, it says governance, constitution, polity, social justice, and international relation. Okay, this is a syllabus given by UPSC itself. So the Constitution of India, the Indian polity, the Indian governance, the international relation. So this is the syllabus where in the GS2. Raj have asked me, sir, I want all the question paper of UPSC. I hope you will send me. Please send me. Mr. Raj, yes, we are going to help you with all the question papers. So don't worry. All the question paper, prelims, means everything. Don't worry. Uh, Shashi have asked me for the undergraduate course which you should take. Shashi, I would suggest you take if you are in 12th standard, I suppose. Then you can take arts, and in that arts, first year will be common, and second year you take those subjects which is there in UPSC subject, for example, history, geography, polity, economics, and in final year you take that subject which you want to take as an optional. For example, if you want to take optional as history, so in your final year of your graduation you can take all history subjects. If you want to take geography, then you can take all geography subjects in final year. So first year take mix of subjects, second year again take mixture of subject, and final year may you take that subject which is your optional. Okay, chalo, any more doubts? BA, see, economics is also there in your optional. Okay, economics is also there in your optional, so that is also fair enough. If you are interested in that, no issues, you can go with that. Okay, so chalo, I hope you could understand something and could gain something from today's class. The coming class will be more interesting and more useful and more informative. Okay, so we'll meet you in the next class. Till then, you all take care. Okay, thank you everyone, and hello, Asta ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So I'm winding up the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, everyone. So we will
Thank you,
again
ma'am.
have a same session tomorrow. Like you will have current affairs session tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.